Hey everyone, welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today I will be showing you how to use /scoreboard. This video will be a bit of a long video since there are a lot of functions for /scoreboard. So I will try to make it as much as possible a short one. So as you can see, for /scoreboard has a lot of functions. There are /scoreboard objectives and /scoreboard players. I will start off first with the /scoreboard objectives and then /scoreboard players. So the first function is /scoreboard objectives add. This function lets you add objectives. So to add an objective, you write /scoreboard objectives add and then the name of the objective. I wrote here test. I recommend you write an easy name so that you can use it later, and then dummy, and then here you write how you want it to be displayed. So I wrote it in that way, like this. So if I press here, it will tell me added new objective, test successfully. Since you can add objectives, you can also remove objectives. So here, this command will remove the objective test. As you can see here, it will remove the objective test successfully. So, but we don't want that right now, so I will just keep it here. And now we have another function, which is /scoreboard objectives list. This function lists all the objectives that are in the game. So as you can see here, it says showing one objective on the scoreboard, which is test, displayed as test, and it's type dummy. And now you can display the scoreboard. There are many ways to display it. The first way is using sidebar. So you write /scoreboard objectives set display sidebar and then the name of the objective, and then you write here ascending or descending. So what sidebar will do is it will show it on the right. So if there are players who have some score, it will be shown right here like this. And ascending, it will show it from the least on the top to the greatest on the bottom. And there is also descending, which it will show the greatest on the top and the least on the bottom. And if you want to not show the sidebar, you just write it /scoreboard objectives set display sidebar without any objective, and it will clear. And there are other ways that you can set display using also, you can use also list, and this will write it here. It will show the scoreboard here. As you can see, player 2, IVRazor, player 1, and there is also ascending and descending. As you can see here, from the greatest to the least, and from the least to the greatest. And if you want to clear it, you just write it. You just write list without any objective. This will clear it. And there is also below name. So this will show the score and the objective below the player's name. So if I press here, and if I have another player with me here, so if I have another player here in the game, as you can see, it will show the player's name, IVRazor, and the score test, and you can remove it without writing any objective. And yeah, that's what it will do. So that's it for /scoreboard objectives, and now we will move on to /scoreboard players. Now the first function in /scoreboard players is add, and this will add a number to a player in an objective. So you write /scoreboard players add, and then the player, I wrote here at P, and then the objective test, and then you need to write an integer. We cannot write any number that is decimal or a complex number such as I, and this will add a score to a player. So here it is, and you can remove a score using slash scoreboard players remove. It's the same thing, it will remove, and there's negative numbers, and there's slash scoreboard players set. It will set a certain number to a player. So here it will always set 10 to IVRazor. Also, you don't need to add a score to a player. You can add it to anything. You can add it to a mob, to an entity, to even a non-existing thing. So here I wrote slash scoreboard players add hello test 1. So this will add 1 score to hello. So it will write here on the right hello with the score of 1. And you can keep on adding and removing and setting. And if you want to write a name that is that has spaces, you will need to write it in quotations like this. So it will be slash scoreboard players add quotation player space 1 quotation, and then the objective and the number. It will be like this, the same thing. So and now you have another function in slash scoreboard players, which is list, and this will list all of the players that have scores. So we have here IVRazor and hello and player 1, and it's written here commands.scoreboard.players.offline player name because of the other player that was in the game. And if you to write it, you just write slash scoreboard players list, and if you write any player's name after it, it will display all of the objectives that this player is in. So as you can see here, showing one tracked objective for IVRazor, which is test, and the score, which is 10. And if you write a star instead of like the name, it will display all of the players that have scores. And as you can see here, it's written the player IVRazor with the score 10 in the objective test, and hello and player 1, and so on. And now you have here slash players slash scoreboard players reset, and this will reset the player's score. You can reset it all from all objectives, or you can identify certain objectives to reset it from. And now here's slash scoreboard players test. This will test if the player's score is in a certain range. So here it's written that it will test if the player's score in the objective test, if it's greater than 15. You write the minimum number first. So if it's not, it will not output anything. But if we keep on adding and adding and adding and then test it again, it will say score 15 is in range of 15 to 2 billion. This 2 billion is the maximum number of any score in the game, and the minimum number is negative 2 billion. And you can write you can use the test function to write other ranges, like from 15 to 20. So it will write here score 15 is in range 15 to 20. Or you can write instead of it a star, which means the minimum or maximum number depending. So like here I have the star first, so it's the minimum number, so it's negative 2 billion. And here if I wrote here a star, it will be the maximum number, which is 2 billion. So this command will test if the number, if it's between negative 2 billion and 5. So if I reset and I make my score 5 and then test, it will say score 5 is in range of negative 2 billion to 5. So that's test. And now here slash scoreboard players random, this will give a random number to a player in an objective, and you identify the range. So you write slash scoreboard players random at p test, and then the minimum value and the maximum value. So it will give me any random number, 4, 2, 5, 3, 3, and so on. And now we go on to the slash scoreboard players operations. This is a bit of a long one. So there are many operations that you can do with the slash scoreboard players. So the first one is slash scoreboard players operations, and it's a plus equal operation. So basically you here identify what player you want to do the operation for, and the other player on the right here. So I wrote here at p test plus equal hello test. So what this will do is it will bring the score that is in the player hello in the objective test and add it to the player the closest player in the objective test. So I have a score of 3 now, and hello has a score of 10. So if I press here, it will be 13 because it added. If I press again, it will add more. And here is minus equal. It's basically the same thing. It will remove the score that's it will remove the amount that hello has from the closest player. So it will remove it and remove it and remove it. So there is also star equal, which is multiply the score. So it will be the player's score times hello. It will always multiply by 10 because hello is 10. And there is also slash equal, which is divide the score. It will divide the score. And there is modular equal. This will divide the score, but it will output the remainder at the end. So like my score here is 30, and hello score is 10. So if I press here, it will be 0 because 30 is divisible by 10. But if I have a score of 3, for example, it will output 3 normally. But if I have a score of 23 is not divisible by 10 unless you have decimals. So like if you do the long division, and you will have a remainder at the end, that remainder will be the result. So that's what modular is. And now here's slash scoreboard players operation, and using less than. Basically this will check if the player's score less than hello's score or not. If it is less than, then it will not do anything. But if the player's score is greater than hello's score, and so it will make the player score the same as hello score. And there is also greater than, which is the same thing. If the player's score is greater than hello score, then nothing will happen. But if it's less than, if it's for example 2, it will be 10. And then here we have equal. This is simple, just will make the player's score the same as hello score. So if I have a score of 2, it will make it 10 because hello has a score of 10. And lastly, we have less than, greater than. This one will swap the both scores. So like if I have a score of 5 and hello has a score of 10, it will swap them, and I will have a score of 10 and hello will have a score of 5. So that's everything in /scoreboard players and everything in /scoreboard. I hope you liked this video, and I will see you in the next time.